A recently released WWE Superstar has announced his retirement from wrestling. CM Punk has claimed Seth Rollins wouldn't have had the same opportunities without him, and Sami Zayn's world title picture plans have been revealed. Stay tuned for the news. But first, a man that we were just talking about like 2 hours ago has made our first news video obsolete because he's just, that's not true. He's just debuted in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Matt Riddle has popped up at New Year's Dash. So it's just taken place. The opening match saw Tanahashi defend his World TV title against Taguchi. And then just as the New Japan Pro Wrestling president, it still feels weird to say that, doesn't it, was making his way backstage, a video pops up on the Tron. It's a long-haired man kickboxing. Who could that be? We just said his name already. It's Matt Riddle. And then he emerged from a car in a suit and flip-flops. And he's challenged Tanahashi for a future New Japan Pro Wrestling World TV title match. A challenge that has been accepted, but Tanahashi also said that he didn't know who Riddle was, so he's got to go away and do a bit of research first. Good to see Riddle pop up there, eh?
Yeah, I mean, we were obviously talking in the last news video about him wanting to be a little bit more serious and stuff, and what a way to do it. Go out there and challenge Tanahashi for a championship, like, straight away. Just why not?
Massive. He's never wrestled in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's done a few like Rev Pro, New Japan collab shows, and he's faced plenty of New Japan talents in his time on the indies, including Minoru Suzuki, Tomohiro Ishii, plenty more. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he does there.
I think his style will fit perfectly with the Japanese style as well. Yep. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do, because I feel like New Japan is definitely, as we were talking about with Dolph Ziggler yesterday as well, is something where people can just let it go a little bit, you know? Just be themselves a little bit more.
I think 2024 is going to be a bonkers year for free agency in pro wrestling. There are so many people who it doesn't look like they're going to get tied down to one company in particular. They're going to go around and do lots of different things. It's quite exciting, isn't it?
It's exciting. And you think as well, like, you know, a lot of these people have been in the same company for the longest time too. Why not just go about? It's like loads of try little different things.
Exactly.
All your fingers in all the pies, as they say.
That's it. A released WWE Superstar has announced his retirement from wrestling. This is one that didn't really get picked up on, but on Insight with Chris Van Vliet, former WWE Superstar Rick Boogs discussed his release and said that he's not coming back. He's done with wrestling. He was released in September of 2023, and on not wanting to return to wrestling, he said,
no, when I first decided I was going to do wrestling, I had to be all in on something. So like I was doing strength and conditioning stuff, personal training. I was like, if I'm going to commit to this endeavor, I just quit my job. I have a wife and a daughter. I just got unemployed for the sake of, you know, getting hungry, that I really wanted to make it happen, which my wife was not happy about. She was like, why did you quit your job, you daft?
So he has no desire to return to pro wrestling. I always thought that like Boogs came up in the wrong era.
Yeah,
I feel
that's
like
a great shout.
Early 90s, he would have done really, really well. And actually, I think he's a guy that I was really entertained by him. I loved his stuff, actually. I thought he was a joy to watch. And obviously, the injury really, really hampered him.
Yeah.
But it was a shame not to see him come back and fulfill his potential, because I do think he had potential. I think he was decent. I think he had potential, and I think him and Shinsuke actually had momentum as well. I think that was supposed to be like his big match, that match at WrestleMania, him and Shinsuke against the Usos, and oh man, that was supposed to be, I guess, his big moment to shine, and biggest match of his career to that point, for sure.
And then it's just unfortunate about the injury. I loved the entrances and Pat getting on the desk and dancing and stuff as well. It was really genuinely entertaining, but you know, hopefully whatever he goes on to do next, I'm sure he'll do fine. He's a big, hefty man.
He's super talented. Yeah. And you know what? I think he could try his hand at many different things and be successful in whatever he wants to do. So all the best to Rick Boogs.
Yeah.
CM Punk was speaking about Seth Rollins yesterday on that 2024 preview special on Peacock with Triple H's big announcement. It was great. And he claimed that Rollins' career would be very different if it weren't for the roads that Punk paved in WWE.
Yeah, Yes, he said, I'm in a position where it feels maybe strange, me vocalizing it, but I think Seth is a guy, at least I definitely thought it 10 years ago, that he's a dude that I don't think would have gotten the opportunities he has gotten if it wasn't for me. That might hurt some people's feelings, but facts are facts, and they don't care about your feelings.
All right, Ricky Gervais. You know what? He's spot on. People are sort of viewing this as a very controversial thing to say, but Punk did pave a way. Like, these are two ex-Ring of Honor guys, and I really do think Punk paved a way for sort of indie sensations to come and be successful in WWE. He was one of the first to do it, and people have, they've had a bit of a go at Punk, obviously, because of what he said, but I don't know, I think he's spot on with that.
Yeah, I think he's spot on. I mean, he obviously, it was the Shield that got brought up to the main roster, and it was sort of surrounding what Punk was doing at the time as well, and I think it's just forwarding their program that I imagine is going to happen at WrestleMania.
It's so exciting.
I
love it, and I love the sort of the blending of kayfabe and reality, where you really have to think about what's being said, and I think there are elements of truth in from both guys in what they're saying. I think there probably is animosity there, but they're also two guys who are just going to go out and be pros and have a very decent, hopefully, match.
Yeah, sort of very similar to what Seth and Cody have said about each other in the past before as well. Seth taking umbrage with Cody just coming back to the company and getting these like top spots and everything. And I think it mirrors that quite well. And there's things for both Punk and Seth to sort of bring in from their personal stuff as well.
Yeah, it's the blurring of the lines, which is so fun.
Yeah, and especially, I guess coming off the back of everything that's happened with CM Punk in AEW and all the news and everything that's come out, I think it's almost clever to kind of take elements from that, but be sensible with it, to sort of, further this feud and make things feel a lot more personal.
I think they're doing a brilliant job with
it.
Yeah,
me too.
I love the booking right now. We're finishing off with some really positive, really exciting news regarding one Sami Zayn. According to Fight Fans, Sami Zayn is going to be receiving a slow burn push towards the World Heavyweight title picture. This doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to go on and win the belt.
No.
He's a guy who obviously came up to the main roster, and it was a long time before he claimed singles gold. It took him a while to get to the IC title. There would be nobody who would be upset about Sami Zayn getting in the world title picture or winning that title. They say when he resurfaces on WWE TV, though, he's going to be starting a program with Drew McIntyre, which is the predictable thing, saying long-term story, likely for a long while. So it's going to be a little bit of time, but the plan is to get Sami to that level, which is, I'm just buzzing about it. He'll be coming for McIntyre when he comes back, seeing that Drew took him out, establish Zayn as a singles main event talent properly, and then they're going to slowly build towards his World Heavyweight Championship push. And they do say 2025, but they can't be sure about a date.
Ooh, yes, please. I'm excited about that. One of the most entertaining things about WWE in the last few years, especially last year as well. His performance at Elimination Chamber, I think, established that he should be in that picture, and he's more than ready to be put into that picture as well, and really prove that he deserves to be there.
He can do it all. He's a guy. You think back to the match with Knoxville.
Yeah,
like the really silly, one of my favorite matches, legit, of the last 5 years. I loved it. I thought it was so fun. I just sat there with a massive grin on my face. But when he needs to get serious, he can get serious. And you can emotionally invest in Sami Zayn. And it's an unchecked box, isn't it? It's something that Sami will want to do. And I really hope it happens. I don't want to wait until 2025. Best of luck to Sami Zayn as well. That is it from us for this one. We might be back a little bit later on. We'll see what breaks. But thank you very much. Have a lovely weekend. Take care of yourselves. God bless.